I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on quadratic functions. In the first part, we took 4 examples which were all based on rates and the numbers, where the equations were kind of reciprocal equations which got converted to quadratic equations, and we solved them using factoring. The last 2 examples here, question number 5 and 6, are distance, speed, time. And here we'll compare the times. We are given the difference in times. So again, we'll have the same reciprocal kind of rational equations, and they can be solved using quadratic functions, and we'll see how. Right? So let's begin with the very first one, which is question number 5. A decrease in speed of 20 kilometers per hour of a journey of 240 kilometers increases the time by 2 hours. Find the original speed. So now, when we have distance, speed, and time, let's remember this triangle. Distance, speed, and time. So here, in most of our questions, we're talking about time, which is ratio of distance and speed, right? So time is the ratio of distance over speed, right? So that triangle is helpful to understand the calculations which we are going to do and the formation of equations which we are going to do in this set of videos. Okay, the very first question here, question number 5, is a decrease in speed of 20 kilometers per hour on a journey of 240 kilometers. So we are given distance d of 240 kilometers. Now we are given 2 speeds here. So one speed, let's say S1, is, we don't know, let's say x, and the S2, the second speed, is a decrease in speed by 20. That means x minus 20. Do you see that? So now it says a decrease in speed of 20 on a journey increases the time by 2 hours. So the time in the first case, it is faster, will be lesser, but the time is ratio of distance and speed. So it is going to be 450 over x, and the time in the second case is going to be 240 over x minus 20. And what we are saying is that this decrease in speed increases the time taken by 2 hours. So this is 2 hours more. So we are saying that t2 minus t1 is 2. That is what we are saying, correct? So that gives you the equation to work. So we get our equation, difference of these two is 2. So we can write this as 240 over x minus 20 minus 240 over x is equal to 2. Does make sense to you? Correct? Now if I divide by 2, I could write this as 120 over x minus 20 minus 120 over x is equal to 1. So just divide by 2 all the terms, right? So what we did here, divide by 2 all terms, correct? So we have a simplified equation to work. And the next step will be, now we are going to multiply by x times x minus 20. Do you see that? So we are now going to multiply by this, x times x minus 20. So what do you get? So we get this term becomes 120x, right? Minus this term becomes 120 times x minus 20. Okay? 120 times x. And both these terms, 1 multiplied by x times x minus 20 is equals to x times x minus 20. So we get this form of an equation. Is that clear to you? Correct? So what we did was, we multiplied by x times x minus 20 all the terms. And we got a simplified form which can be seen here, right? Now let's expand this. So we have 120x minus 120x, minus and minus becomes plus. Multiplying by 20 means 24 and 2 zeros is equal to x square minus 20x. Clear? Now here these two cancel, we get 2400, so we can write 0 equals to x square minus 20x minus 2400. So that becomes your equation. Is that clear to you? Right? So that is how we get our equation. Now, we are looking for two numbers whose product is 2400 and sum is 20. So 6 and 4, 24, right? 60, 40 can work. So we could factor this and write this as bigger number is negative times x plus 40. Good. So that means x is equal to 60 and x equals to minus 40. Now minus 40 is not. This is correct because it cannot be negative, right? So find the original speed. So our answer here is original speed is 60 kilometers per hour. Is that clear to you? So that is how we are going to solve it. So I hope the steps are absolutely clear. We did a shortcut here by multiplying each term by x times x minus 20. So see it. We did x times x minus 20. We did x times x minus 20. And we did x times x minus 20, right? So this x minus 20 cancelled. So we are left with x times 120. Here, this x and x cancelled. So 120 was multiplied with this. And here 1 was multiplied and we got that. Did you see that step? Right? So that's kind of important. We're going to again apply the same step to do the next question, right? Here is your question number 6. This is the last question, which is very similar to what we have done so far. Same concept, extended a bit. You can actually pause the video, copy this question, solve, and then look into my solution. The question here is, a train covers a distance of 150 kilometers at an average speed of x kilometers per hour. So we are going 150 kilometers at the rate of x kilometers per hour. It increases the speed by 20 kilometers, then it becomes x plus 20 kilometers per hour to complete a total journey of 350. So the balance journey is 350. Total is 350. So we have 350 in all. But that is the speed in the later part. Okay, so this distance is how much? 350 minus 150 is 200. Okay. So the balance 200 kilometers is traveled at that speed. Right. So it increases the speed by 20 kilometers per hour to complete the total journey of 350 kilometers in 5 hours. So total time is t. Do you see that part? Right. And we know the relation distance, speed, and time, which is, we know that distance is product of these two, time is ratio of these two. Right. Now, we can actually form the equation. So time t1 plus time t2 will be t, right? Which is 5. How much is t1? So time in the first half of the journey, so time is equals to distance over speed. So now let us add these two times and equate it to 5. So the first half is 150 divided by the speed, which is x, plus the second half is 200 divided by x plus 20, and the total here is 5 hours, correct? So kilometers per hour, right? So it gives me 5 hours. So we get this equation, right? So we can now cross multiply. So we get 150 times x plus 20 plus 200 times x equals to 5 times x plus 20. Clear? So now we can divide each number by 5. So we should reduce as much as we can as we move along, right? So when you divide this, you get 30 here, right? So we get 30 times x plus 20, and this becomes 5 times 4, which is 40x, equals to, so that is 1, x times x plus 20. Let's open the bracket now. We get 30x plus 3 times 2, 600, plus 40x equals to x square plus 20x. So bring them all together. So we get 0 equals to x square plus 20x. Now this is 70. We'll make it here 70x minus 600. Or 0 equals to x square minus 50x minus 600. So that becomes the quadratic equation to solve. Is that clear to you? Right? So now we are again looking for sum and product of 600. So we have 600 here. We have to split it so that we get 50 as our sum minus 50, right? So what could those numbers be? 30 and 20, right? But one of them has to be negative. So 30 and 20 will not work. 60 and 10 can work, right? So 60 and 10 can work. So we could have minus 60 and plus 10. That should work. So we can write this as 0 equals to x minus 60 times x plus 10. And clearly from here we have x equals to 60 as a valid answer. X equals to minus 10 is not valid, correct? So this is not x, but it's not valid. So we'll disregard this. So from here, we get that the value of x is 60 kilometers per hour. So our answer here is 60 kilometers per hour. Is that clear to you? So that is the value of x. So I hope the solution is absolutely clear. So with that, we solve all our questions, which are basically similar kind, right? So we did all these 6 questions. The idea was that we are finding rate. Speed is also a rate, distance traveled in unit time. The first one was rate, dollars spent per pen, right? And numbers, when we did a reciprocal, we got similar equation to rate. So that is why I clubbed in question number 3 and 4 in between. So they have same structure, same type of solution. We took easy numbers so that you could factor and get the solution. At times, you may have to use quadratic formula, right? So I hope with this, you understand the basic technique of solving such questions. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your time and all the best.